This will be a structural determination for the Aksarben soil profile. So structure is type, class, and grade, or shape, size, and strength of aggregate. As an aid to do this today, I'm going to use a page out of the Soil Quality Test Kit booklet. And I've got pictures of the aggregate types, shapes, and their class ranges, the sizes. So this soil profile then is the Aksarben soil profile, and I've broken it up so that we can see the aggregates, and I've wetted it down just a little bit. But if we zoom in, we can see here at the topsoil we've got well-defined aggregates in place, and this is a soil of fairly fine to medium fine texture. So our aggregates look to be either granular or subangular blocky, depending upon how you call it. But I think there's a really nice display of aggregates there. We'll pull some out, put them on the page here. We can see they're very well defined, and we're going to give them medium granular. We'll determine the class size here. Over on this page we have the ranges. So for granular up top, they're bigger than the fine, and this is the medium. They'd be on the high range of medium. How about coarse? They fit there. So we're going to say medium to coarse granular structure for the topsoil, and that was at a depth of 15 centimeters. Very well structured. And then for grade, how well do they hold together? If I press on it, it takes a little bit of effort to break that down. They deform. So I'm going to say they are moderate, or when they're dry they're a lot harder. And they are moderate in grade. So their integrity is moderately well held together. That type of structure seems to hold all the way down through the first 30 centimeters, and it transitions as we get into the subsoil down past 30 centimeters. Here is a piece of the core. I open that up. We've got aggregates that are a little bit sharper edged. Those are going to be classified as a blocky type because they are somewhat cuboidal. They have sharp edges on them. They're not granular. It's still fairly crumbly, and so it's a well aggregated soil. And so here's our blocky type of aggregates. If we look into the soil core, there's a nice array of sizes here. I'm going to pull out a group and I'm going to put it on the blocky page. Well, there's a few fine, very fine, a little bit more into the neighborhood of these fine size aggregates. Not very many that large. There's a few that large to make medium. So we're going to call them fine blocky structure. And this is in the 30 to 40 centimeter range. And for integrity, the grade, they are pretty hard. I have to press pretty hard to break them. They are fairly dry. So a lot of clay there. Moderate to strong grade is what we'll classify those as. Let's move down quite a bit farther, down to about 75 to 80 centimeters. The aggregates here, I think they're a little bit larger. This is a chunk of the soil core. Maybe we can break this up and see what comes of it. That's how you find the aggregates. You just let it fall apart. You're not crushing, we're pulling it apart, and we find, I'd say this is a pretty typical size aggregate for this particular area, the core. We're at 75 to 80 centimeters depth. If we put that blocky, a little bit bigger than the fine, so I think we're in the medium size range of aggregates here according to our chart. And finally, down at the bottom of the core, as we get down towards the BC type horizon, nearing the parent material, aggregates are not so well defined. So they're maybe massive, or they're large, subangular, blocky. So let's see if we can find something. Here's a couple aggregates, and they're definitely in the medium and subangular. Too massive, I would say. And as far as grade, they crush to dust a little bit. So that's going to make them weak to moderately grade. So, granular, subangular, blocky near the top, blocky in the mid-subsoil, and subangular, blocky to massive near the 1 meter and BC horizon. That's the Aksarben structure.